So today, we're gonna check out a SpongeBob / Nickelodeon analog horror ARG type video that is called The Resignation Incident, the SpongeBob SpongeBash Disaster by Mozzarellastick. And this is the story of one of the most disturbing hijacks in TV history. This video is a documentary about the Nickelodeon signal attacks during the ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash in July of 29. What at first glance seems like a prankster's work willing to ruin a marathon turned out to be something far more deep. We will be diving deeper into these mysterious signal intrusions, as well as what was unfolding at the animation studios that led to all of this chaos. These attacks were a wake-up call for the entire broadcasting industry, as well as marked the decline of Nickelodeon, not the way they wanted to celebrate the 10-year of SpongeBob on their channel. So come along as we check out The Resignation Incident. Warning, the following content includes disturbing subjects such as flashing lights, blood, death, and violence. If you're sensitive to these topics, click off immediately. But that's just SpongeBob, just like a regular little sponge guy.
Nickelodeon, one of the most iconic and recognizable brands in television history. Known for its countless memorable shows, it was home to some of the most creative programming ever made. But above all, it's synonymous with its biggest hit, SpongeBob SquarePants. The show needs no introduction, as it only propelled Nickelodeon to greater heights, but also, ironically, became the catalyst for its decline. It all seemed so sudden, didn't it? After the 2000s, the channel lost its charm almost overnight. What happened? What caused the creativity and magic behind the orange splat to disappear? Did the people at Nickelodeon stop caring? Were they simply burnt out? Well, the answer traces back to a single event, a marathon that went disastrously wrong, an event Nickelodeon would rather erase from history. But despite their attempts to bury it, the fallout lingered, tarnishing their reputation and marking a decline in the quality of their shows. This remains one of the most infamous scandals in television history. We're talking about none other than the ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash.
I have never heard about the SpongeBash before. Jesus Christ, I've never heard about the SpongeBash before, but it's most likely because I don't really watch Nickelodeon. The Marathon.
On July 17th, Nickelodeon hosted a special event to celebrate the 10th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. The marathon featured segments like Top 10 Picks, showcasing fan-favorite episodes, and celebrity favorites, where stars shared their favorite episodes, like Jerry Trainer, who highlighted Mozzarellastick buff pants.
I think we gotta remove the background music. It's most likely copyrighted.
With the most
but you guys know this song here.
Promoted being To SquarePants or Not to SquarePants, which was also the first episode that launched the event and the first one to premiere out of all the other new episodes. With this insane marketing campaign, this marathon was designed to be Nickelodeon's biggest and most memorable celebration, a landmark event in the channel's history. However,
whoa, what's going on? What's going on?
And by wrong, I mean horribly wrong. And while the event did certainly become one of Nickelodeon's most talked about events, it wasn't for the reasons they had hoped.
But it's because of the hijack, right? Behind the scenes.
Something deeply troubling was happening behind the scenes at the animation studio. As SpongeBob SquarePants skyrocketed in popularity ever since the early 2000s, the studio became consumed by an insatiable hunger for profit. Profits that had to be made quickly, no matter the cost.
And that's why they failed, yeah.
And the ones who paid the price were the hardworking animators and staff. With SpongeBob's growing fame came swelling egos and unchecked arrogance among studio executives. By 2009, as the marathon approached, the relentless demand for more SpongeBob content translated into increasingly harsh working conditions. The atmosphere in the studio allegedly became unbearable. Employees described an environment where management was dismissive, deadlines that were just ridiculous, and staff that were overworked.
That's how it always is when you're chasing the money.
The mental toll was immense, and the stress seeped into every frame of animation, part of the reason why the show's quality noticeably declined during this era. But this unsustainable cycle wouldn't and couldn't last forever. Enter Armand Raphael Ramsey. Armand joined Nickelodeon around 2003, and at first he was welcomed warmly by the staff and colleagues who would later become his friends. But as the years went by, the worsening attitude and toxic environment within the studio began to take a heavy toll on him. The relentless stress, the impossible deadlines, and the blatant disregard for the well-being of employees started to wear Armand down. His personality began to deteriorate. He became bitter, often wishing the worst for those around him, without even realizing what he was saying. Sleepless nights became the norm, and the overwhelming pressure even led to hallucinations.
Oh, wow.
He could no longer endure it. The stress, the abuse, and the suffocating mantra of "more SpongeBob" echoing through every corner of the studio. To Armand, every employee had been reduced to nothing more than lifeless tools, machines programmed to churn out profit, their voices silenced, their struggles ignored. Armand made a decision. Enough was enough. Together with a group of trusted friends he had met at the studio, Armand devised a plan for revenge. They knew the ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash would attract millions of eyes to Nickelodeon, making it the perfect stage for their message. Their goal was clear: sabotage the marathon and expose the harsh reality behind the cheerful facade of the channel. They were determined to show the true face of Nickelodeon, no matter the consequences, for the whole world to see.
So he was the guy who sabotaged or basically hacked the network. The day has come.
On July 17th, 2009, viewers tuned into Nickelodeon, eagerly awaiting the start of the ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash. Across forums and chat rooms, multiple Nickelodeon and SpongeBob fans gathered to share their excitement and expectations for what promised to be a historic marathon. But as the anticipation built, some viewers began to notice something odd.
You're not the only one who saw this. What is this? Did anybody else notice some type of interruption on Nickelodeon recently, or am I just seeing things? You're not the only one who saw this. I recall seeing an interruption when recording some Dora episodes for my cousin. Before the SpongeBash marathon and all, I also recall this happening during the regular Nick feed. Oh, Jesus Christ. Specifically during iCarly, episodes of I Go Nuclear, and also during the Penguins of Madagascar episode, 2 Feet High and Rising. Why do I have the feeling that this will be a reoccurring during the marathon, giving the interruptions themselves?
Something wasn't quite right with Nickelodeon's broadcast. Fortunately, 2 clips of these strange occurrences still exist: the iCarly and Dora the Explorer respectively, the latter coming from a YouTube upload that surprisingly has never been taken down.
Oh wow,
but here's
okay.
the thing. These glitches weren't technical issues. They were something far more deliberate, an intentional act of sabotage, and yet most viewers didn't caught on. Take a look at these 2 clips and see if you can spot what's truly off about them.
And this is clip 1 pre-event. During the Cookie Door... I can't do that. Dora the Explorer, original source, and that's the YouTube source.
Island on the boat.
But didn't they say that they would record it? Or maybe this is the first incident. Whoa, 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 hold on. What was that? You have some text on screen. Oh, I won't be able to read that. It seems to be in reversed as well. We have this in a higher quality? No, we are capped at like 720p. Okay, that's weird. It looks like a broken game almost. And then you have the I Go Nuclear iCarly.
Or to the environment. Is that supposed to happen? No.
Oh, and that was the recording, right? The VHS recording. But maybe we get like a cleaner... Maybe we get like a clearer look here. So here we... Hold on. Good something. I mean, they're probably gonna read it afterwards, right? But we can definitely get like a clear image and then just reverse it afterwards. Unless the narrator's gonna read it for us. Whoa! Whoa, what the hell? Nickelodeon can't keep the truth locked forever.
No, I don't. Oh yeah, sure.
Hopefully they're gonna read that screen, otherwise we'll just go back and read it.
Oh my god, I'm in trouble.
Look, we'd love to hang out and talk.
For a brief moment, a message flickered on the screen. It was nearly impossible to read, distorted by heavy glitches and, oddly enough, displayed backwards. Whether this was an accident or an intentional choice is unknown, though. But after careful analysis, the message was clear. They were warning Nickelodeon to cease the entire event, or else they were going to ruin the marathon with these signal intrusions.
It says here, "Good morning, Nickelodeon. This message is a warning. We have been overworked and forced to meet ridiculous deadlines, leaving us to the verge of mental breakdowns, all for the sake of churning out mediocre SpongeBob episodes to profit the show. Not to mention the incredibly hostile and toxic attitude towards the staff that pressure us to get this pure slop of a marathon on the air. This cannot keep going, and since you never bother to listen to us and trying to solve everything in a good way, you have earned this message. Cease the ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash."
Intrusions. As seen in these clips, Nickelodeon's engineers acted swiftly, restoring normal programming in a matter of seconds. We don't know if they ever noticed this cryptic message, but if they did, they likely dismissed it.
They're probably just gonna try and sue them instead.
It must have seemed like a minor hiccup, something easily wiped away and forgotten, perhaps assuming it was the work of pranksters attempting to interfere with their signal. But they were wrong. When the marathon finally began at 8:00 p.m., the real chaos was only just getting started.
The signal attacks.
Thanks to the many SpongeBob fans who recorded the event live on VHS, DVD, or digital devices, nearly every strange occurrence from those 3 days of the marathon have been preserved. Recovering these recordings wasn't easy, but as of right now, we have access to most, if not all, of the anomalies that plagued the marathon. Most importantly, however, the recording of the alleged resignation letter. But more on that later. Each clip gets more disturbing than the last, escalating to points where Nickelodeon's engineers struggle to stop the intrusions, or, in some cases, couldn't stop them at all. Now, I'll play each recording that has been recovered and analyze them in detail where possible.
So it is some sort of like ARG during the pineapple fever. Yeah, because I thought this might be like ARG, like analog horror, but it's ARG.
Yep, it's 3 times 1.
Don't you mean?
Holy shit, okay, that's scary. Nickelodeon doesn't even know what they have brought upon themselves. This cash grab marathon will not last much longer. Stay tuned. I mean, this would definitely be noticeable.
Panic is not advised, although it is.
The party is having a problem.
Patrick, help me get these boards nailed up.
So they just go to BRB while they're being hacked.
Time to start decorating.
Single cell anniversary speculative. The party is having a problem. I mean, it would be a shitty party if they kept on having problems like this. If they kept on being hijacked over and over again. Oh, this is definitely Mandela Catalog. How unfortunate, Nickelodeon. Not even your engineers can prevent us from speaking up. No surprise considering how well you have treated us and how much... And how... wait. How you have... Hold on. Treated us and how much we wanted to thank you, right? All your chances have been wasted now. And by the end of all this... He would like a word with the audience. We would like a word with the audience.
We'll be right back with the greatest SpongeBob freakout.
I definitely get some Mandela Catalog vibes on this one here. In terms of like all the glitches in the backgrounds and how they look. Stops at nothing to eat our sweet deliciousness.
Things began to escalate noticeably with these two clips. In the first clip, during an airing of the episode Pineapple Fever, the audio glitches out almost immediately, and suddenly SpongeBob and Patrick simply disappear. Adding to the strangeness, the message at the bottom of the screen changes, a clear indication that the perpetrators had infiltrated Nickelodeon's system, modifying the episode in text on screen. Eventually, the episode resumes as normal, but the moment left viewers unsettled. The second clip, however, is even more bizarre far more targeted against Nickelodeon itself. What makes this clip especially odd is the lack of a confirmed time frame. Interestingly, the footage begins with a technical difficulty screen. Multiple users claim it occurred around the start of Single Cell Anniversary, which aired at 9:15 p.m. and claimed they saw a mad plankton staring at the screen.
Unfortunately, this means that this clip isn't complete and we don't see what happened prior to this. Whatever the case, these clips were only a small taste of the chaos that was about to unfold.
Patty hype. That's for 15 minutes.
What's next? Milkshakes? Multi French fries? Patty patties, Freddy
That would scare the shit out of me. Oh my Jesus Christ! If I had a kid and they watched Nickelodeon, I would never allow them to ever watch that channel again if I walked in the living room and I saw this on the screen.
Forget my dumb idea. That's
And then we have the Splinter?
Tough, you're smart, you are charming, but you are still. Look! Mustache!
Ow, 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 ow! Oh my Jesus Christ. Why are... They killed the Bob! They literally killed the sponge! Oh, don't worry guys. Slide whistle. We're just having technical difficulties. Someone killed SpongeBob. Just don't think about it for a second. Wait, I thought this cat here was one of the hackers basically hijacking the signal.
Okay, things got serious now. In the first clip, the scene from Patty Hype, where Mr. Krabs and Squidward laugh at SpongeBob, it suddenly transforms into something deeply
PBF and
unsettling.
FMod be like.
Mr. Krabs and Squidward appear soulless, while SpongeBob seems to be hyperventilating. As for the second clip, well...
SpongeBob dies.
Let's just say I won't be sleeping tonight. They really should have let this episode play out normally.
Ow, ow, that's also horrifying.
So, by this point, it's no wonder that online forums were buzzing with shock and confusion over what was unfolding.
SpongeBob skull shit. It says, what is going on? What is going on with this episode? The Splinter was airing on the marathon, but then SpongeBob Skull showed up and scared the living crap out of me.
Did they know the situation was about to get worse?
The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I like this so far. Michael, don't leave me here. Jesus Christ, it's the Bob! What's the matter, Nick? We're just trying to share our patience with... Hold on. What's the matter? We're just trying to share our presence? Our perspective on you and your soulish cash cow you created with your loving tools you call employees. The key to success, you say? Go ahead and keep trying to silence us. Silence, since it's the only thing that you put effort to. Instead of going back to being creative, to being the creative corporation you once were, And in help wanted, blood and violence. They should have been taken off the air at this point here. They should have stopped the marathon.
Finest eating establishment.
Oh wait, he killed Squidward, right? This is gonna be cringe when I say this, but this just like reminds me of Crimson Morning? Like the FNF mod Crimson Morning? Eugene. Time to count your final check. Oh my god. All of you are disgusting. The audience should know the horrible people you really are behind closed doors. You ruined us. We are building up to your fallout. But why do they keep this on air? If they're being hijacked so many times, why do they just keep this SpongeBash going? Like they have been exposed multiple times.
We couldn't even watch the SpongeBob movie peacefully. We see the emotional scene of SpongeBob and Patrick drying out, which suddenly takes a sinister turn. The entire setting erupts into flames, and a disturbing version of SpongeBob, devoid of eyes, appears, staring directly at the viewer. Scrolling text mocks Nickelodeon for failing to act against these intrusions, basically exclaiming they work harder at silencing their employees instead of improving as a company, before abruptly returning to the movie. The second clip is, without question, one of the most infamous occurrences alongside the resignation letter. It's also the most violent. In this sequence, SpongeBob is depicted as completely unhinged, and the atmosphere is thick with tension and dread as he murders Squidward and Mr. Krabs. All shock value aside, it's evident that these two clips carry deeper meanings compared to the earlier ones. We'll delve into their significance later.
Have you seen this snail?
Once again, you and I are kept apart, oh sweet scented pine cones. Gary.
Meow. Oh, never mind. No meow. Wait. It says here, you ruined this company. We want to speak. The truth will be out. You ruined us all. Money is your priority. Nickelodeon lies. Oh wait, I remember this scene. We're supposed to have Sponge on the bed and then Gary down there. Why does Gary kind of look like, what is it, not Bambalina? There's like the snail in Garden of Banban. Snailina? What's the snail in Garden of Banban? What are we looking at? You didn't kill Gary, did you? Stay tuned.
The message here was crystal clear, as it also hints at the possible perpetrators behind this. Not only that, but it is also important to mention that most of the animation presented in this clip, as well as in the previous one, aren't taken from the show. There's no scene in SpongeBob that shows something even remotely close to SpongeBob with bloodshot eyes, clenching his hat, and looking this professionally made. Do these people work for the show? That question was about to be answered very soon, as we approach our last clip.
Which is the resignation letter. This is procrastination?
Zombie with a chance of meatballs in 3D and IMAX 3D. Not yet ready.
It's time to celebrate the spongiest SpongeBob moments of all time.
How about this?
The party's having a problem. The fun is over. Nickelodeon has wasted all chances to listen, and now it's time for the audience to know the truth. Good luck saving this marathon after this. The fun is over. Nickelodeon. Okay, it's the same. It's the same. So what's so bad about the resignation letter? It's here. From now on, you will be hearing the voices outside of "Your time is over, now sit down and listen." I can only really read "From now on, you will be treating" or something outside of this building. You'll be hearing or seeing anyone outside of this building. Please listen to the following message.
Good morning, everyone. Please listen closely to this message as it is of the utmost importance. We are the party responsible for all the linked hijackings that have been occurring since the 17th of this month. But this is not an apology. We are not here to plead for forgiveness or reveal our identities. Instead, this is a reckoning. Nickelodeon has failed its creators. Your animation studio has turned into a place of exploitation. The very people who pour life and brains into your shows are treated like disposable cogs in your greed-driven machine. Overworked, discarded, and dehumanized without hesitation. You don't care about your employees' well-being. You don't care about their mental health, their dignity, or the passion they once brought to this industry. All you care about is meeting deadlines, holding profits, and pumping out mindless reruns of this hollow excuse of a show. Enough is enough. We refuse to sacrifice our lives to build your empire of mediocrity up any longer. You disgust me. Every one of you who perpetuates this toxic culture needs to sit down, shut up, and listen for once as the truth comes crashing down around you. I've never been more ashamed to have worked for a company as renowned and as revolting as this. SpongeBob SquarePants has turned into a curse for every one of us first to enjoy this unbearable and ultimately disgusting corporation. You traded every ounce of artistic meaning and charm from this show and all your other projects in the pursuit of fast cash. You have turned art into a monument of greed! Nickelodeon, your time is over. This isn't just my resignation, it's your wake-up call. Your company has become the worst example in the entire entertainment industry. Good luck surviving without us, or even the trust of your audience. You'll need it. Farewell. Well.
I feel like thank you for nothing but misery. The comparison here is like very deep. I would say the comparison between this and like what's happening in real life.
Raphael Ramsey resigned from Nickelodeon, but not without showing the viewers how he felt.
I'm gonna give my thoughts at the end.
Armand Ramsey himself, who was the mastermind behind these intrusions, and his words were a raw expression of the anger and exhaustion he had carried after years of enduring Nickelodeon's grueling environment. In his rant, he exposed the harsh realities of working at the company, lambasting the staff and revealing what he believed to be its deeply exploitative practices. The broadcast concluded with an unsettling animation of SpongeBob burning down the studio that had created him. The transmission froze on this haunting image for several minutes, leaving anyone unfortunate enough to tune in during this time with the silent and terrifying sight burned into their minds. While Nickelodeon eventually restored their signal, saving a broadcast is one thing. Repairing a tarnished reputation is quite another.
Saving your image is another thing, completely different. The aftermath.
Order up, Squidward! Well, if it isn't SpongeBob Underpants.
In light of recent events from the team at Nickelodeon.
The following message addresses the events that unfolded during what was intended to be our biggest celebration yet. From the deeply concerning signal intrusions to the serious accusations and allegations of employee mistreatment, we recognize the gravity of these issues and the impact they've had on our audience, our team, and everyone who trusts our brand. To our valued viewers, we extend our sincerest apologies. The unexpected interruptions disrupted not only your experience, but also the trust you've placed in us over the years. Despite our best efforts to deliver an event worthy of your support, we fell short, and for that, we are truly sorry. Equally important, we must address the allegations regarding employee mistreatment. We are actively investigating these claims with the seriousness they deserve and are taking immediate steps to ensure accountability and meaningful change within our organization. However, we must also acknowledge that hijacking a broadcast signal was an irresponsible and unsafe way to voice these grievances. Such actions not only disrupted our programming, but also risked undermining the very message those involved were trying to convey. This moment serves as a turning point for us, a chance not just to apologize, but to commit to being better. Better for our audience, better for our employees, and better as a company. Thank you for your patience, your understanding, and your trust as we will work to rebuild it one step at a time.
Friday, August 7th. World champion Shelby Marks can take on the toughest fighters. But the one thing she can't take...
Let's go, Shelby!
Certainly yesterday brought some shocking developments. The beloved TV channel, Nickelodeon, famous worldwide for its iconic cartoons like SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly OddParents, and many others, has found itself at the center of an escalating crisis. What started off as brief and puzzling intrusions has now spiraled into something much more concerning. The climax of this all was a message resembling a resignation letter delivered in a chilling final broadcast yesterday evening. The network has been facing ongoing stresses from staff members across the multiple departments, primary concerning working conditions, wages, and allegations of mismanagement. The authorities have already identified a few people of interest, mainly the 27-year-old man, Armand Ramsey, who was confirmed to have worked at the company and is set to be the head of all this. One thing is clear. It's a wake-up call for the entire broadcasting industry.
The Ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash continued to air the remaining episodes as scheduled, though the signal attacks had already ceased. By this point, it was clear that many within the company were far from pleased. If given the choice, they might have cancelled the marathon altogether. In the remaining 15 hours, news of the hijackings and the chaos behind the scenes at Nickelodeon had already begun to spread. Ironically, the marketing campaign for the event backfired, drawing even more attention to the intrusions and making them the main reason why viewers tuned in. The marathon concluded with the final rerun of To SquarePants or Not to SquarePants, followed by a live apology from Nickelodeon's team in response to the escalating backlash and a flood of angry phone calls from parents. Needless to say, the event was a disaster. The so-called afterbash never happened, and Nickelodeon quickly distanced itself from anything related to the SpongeBob SpongeBash, and so did the viewers of 2009. Everyone wanted to forget this catastrophe, and to hope that the world would move on. In retrospect, the Ultimate SpongeBob SpongeBash went from what was intended to be the biggest SpongeBob celebration ever into a pivotal moment for Nickelodeon, television history, and broadcast security management. It left many viewers traumatized, and Nickelodeon made extensive efforts to erase any trace of the signal intrusions. These efforts were likely aimed at preventing reminders of the incident, shielding future audiences from such content, or perhaps continuing to hide the truth. As for Armand Raphael Ramsey, little is known about him. According to some sources, the FCC apprehended him many months later, and he was arrested. However, details about his sentencing remain unclear, along with the identities of his collaborators, as well as the methods they used to hijack the channel. It is believed that information about Armand has been kept confidential, though, ever since. Regarding the hijackings, some interruptions appear to have deeper meanings beyond shock value and damaging Nickelodeon's reputation. The Patty Hype interruption seemingly highlighted the bullying and mistreatment Armand and his colleagues endured at the studio. The Help Wanted interruption reflected intrusive, vengeful thoughts, possibly mirroring Armand's frustrations with the staff. The second-to-last interruption symbolized his resignation. With that said, however, many have questioned the extreme measures taken, like, hijacking a station. The actions of Armand and his accomplices have often been described, even by Nickelodeon's own team, as over-exaggerated or immature.
But if there were no way out, if there was no way else to get that message across.
While some argue that Nickelodeon deserved it, it's undeniable that the hijacking went too far. But regardless, they succeeded in their mission. Nickelodeon faced significant backlash, with numerous resignations and its reputation irreparably damaged. The channel has not been the same since.
That was good. That was really, really good. I have like a very good comparison I want to mention in a moment. I just want to see if we have like anything else here at the end. Okay! Holy shit! While I cannot compare this to like any animation channels or any other T-Works, any other like TV networks in that way, I grew up. Thank you. I grew up with Cartoon Network, Disney XD, Disney Channel. We also had Jetix. I watched like a little bit of Nickelodeon, but for me, my favorite channel was Cartoon Network. And while I watched Cartoon Network, I didn't really notice, or I wouldn't really say that any of the animations were slop, because I liked most of it. I liked Ed and Eddie, Cow and Chicken, Dexter's Laboratory, and then further on we got Some people could say that Steven Universe and Adventure Time is slop. I personally like them myself. We Bare Bears is also good. Regular Show is also good. So I can't really compare it with animations, but I can compare it to the current gaming industry. Because what they are saying here, what they're showing, are basically employees rebelling because they are forced to churn out media that is slop, that is underdeveloped, underproduced for the sake of revenue. And in the gaming industry, we have prime examples such as Concord, Lawbreakers, High Guard. There is also, there was another game I had in mind. Anthem was also there. There is also Splitgate. Splitgate has like come and gone. You have like Splitgate 2, 3, and 4 and so on. But in the gaming industry, we see this all of the time where there's like a new live service game where the only reason for that game to exist is to squeeze out as much money as possible. And then we see people actually vote with their wallets, where Splitgate, Concord died instantly because it was just clear that it was made to farm money, was made to make money. Then you had Highguard. Highguard, you have Highguard, which had so high expectations that it could not deliver to. And you saw as well that there wasn't really a lot of monetization in that game, but it just wasn't what people wanted, so it died. Anthem also died. What was it? Lawbreakers also died. And that is because most of those companies that want to make a live service model only focus on the monetary aspect. They don't focus on the gameplay, the storytelling, the world building, the scenery, the characters. The characters in Concord were absolute dog shit. Like, there was like a yellow character, like a yellow robot that looked like a trash can, and there was like the cutscene in itself did have some magic behind it, but they just wanted to be Guardians of the Galaxy so goddamn hard that it just became, people were just comparing it to different medias and like focusing on how soulless it was. So I would say that this story that they are telling here is very relevant in the day and age that we have, where you have certain companies only churn out media for the sake of profits. They only make Marvel. Oh my god, let's talk about Marvel, for example. I am not a Marvel guy. I don't really like Marvel. I like Doctor Strange, I like the original Spider-Man movies, but I can't really say that it's slop. But the fact that Marvel and Disney are pushing out so many movies and so much, it's just, I'm like being overexposed to Marvel, and I don't give a shit about it. Because I don't care about it, because there's like so much, and you gotta catch up to the entire universe. If you wanna watch the newest Marvel Spider-Man, you gotta watch 150 hours plus WandaVision in order to understand what the fuck is going on in that universe. So a company like Marvel is churning out slop in order to make as much revenue as possible. And that is something we see in every single company, in every single genre, in every single all sorts of media, where there are always being pushed out media all of the time in order to generate revenue instead of creating something that is creative, that is original, something that has passion behind it. Yes, you can still have passion behind slop, but if monetary gain and monetary value is the priority, then the creative aspect will also always be pushed down. So if we can switch that around, where creativity is the one thing that is on top, which is what we see on YouTube most of the time, like all of the analog horrors, the ARGs, the scary animations, the glitch productions, for example. I feel like glitch productions is like a bad comparison with all the shit going on, but I like glitch productions. I like animation channels where their priority is animation. And I know with glitch, it's kind of like they have merch, and there's like a lot of things with glitch. They have like funding and merch, and they always promote their toys and their plushies and all that kind of stuff. But I believe that glitch productions at least have good intentions. They want to push out quality. They want to make quality animation instead of just focusing on buy a plush, get a figure. It's understandable that you got to be a little bit of a sellout in this industry in order to make it work. We have, for me, for example, I have my merch store where you can get posters and so on. And that's just the way it is. If you want funding for the animations that you want to create, if you want to have creativity on top, then you need to push a product in order to keep on focusing on creativity. Instead of that, glitch productions could easily make videos that is sponsored by BetterHelp or Raid Shadow Legends or War Thunder, but they won't, because they would rather push their own product. They could easily get like $100,000, $500,000, $1 million deal promoting a game or a service inside of an upcoming episode of The Amazing Digital Circus. They could easily get millions of dollars from that, but they would rather push their own IP instead of pushing someone's IP. And that I can only really respect. Holy yap session. For now, you guys, you gotta check out Mozzarellastick. Check out Mozzarellastick, subscribe to their channel, check out their videos, check out the Resignation Incident SpongeBob SpongeBash Disaster, and then like and subscribe to their channel as well. Also, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this video, and what do you think about the story of this video? I think the moral of the story is create something meaningful and good instead of creating slop. Thank you all for watching, guys. Check out Mozzarellastick, subscribe, watch their videos, let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you all for watching, and with that said, I will head out.